The soldiers have entered the settlement. They have breached the walls. But where, oh, where are the defenders? Welcome back, everyone. Ellington here, and we are back with Total War Rome 2. And we've got ourselves a 3 versus 3. And not just a 3 versus 3, but we've got a 3 versus 3 with some very good tourney players today. And we are on the settlement of Alexandria. Now, this one was sent in by one of the attackers. We've got Biblical Basher as Nabatea. I call him Sir Bibbs because why not? And for his allies, we've got Iceni being commanded by Kirky. It's funny because I use a lot of times I will like type out all the names on my phone and just have it sitting there, and it auto-corrected to Kinky. So Kirky, you are now Kinky. And then finally, we've got Seleucid being commanded by Pedrosor. Now, for the defenders, look at that. We got some cav way back there from Macedon. Sarissa cav. Macedon being commanded by JJJ. We've got Massilia being commanded by none other than Willem, or Fight Me. And finally, I don't think we could see a couple units. We've got Colchis being commanded by Pepshim. We're going to go with that. Anyways, this is Alexandria, as you can see by the Lighthouse of Alexandria sitting in the background there. And it looks to me like we've got a relatively standard attack for Alexandria coming, which, looking at the map here, you can see we are on the left-hand side of the city, if you're judging by the map. And typically what you see is a attack onto this corner right here. The reason for that is because there are pretty good positions for getting archer angles and such. So what you usually will see is a little bit of a defense here on this tower, but there was no defense here. This was left completely open. The sword band just walked in, took the tower, and moved on with their lives. So what we will see probably next is, I would expect probably a movement down this wall to kind of scout out this area here. You can see over on the far side here, we've got some hillmen from Seleucid going up. I think just trying to get rid of this ballista, because he is actually really messing up the Seleucid giant ballista here. You can see the giant ballista down to only one left. Sarissa Cav has moved forward a little bit. I assume that's the same one. It could be a second one, I guess. But like I said, I think we will see a push down this way here, and then they begin pushing here. But it looks like they're probably not going to do that until they know that this artillery is safe to use. Which, unfortunately, it still is not safe to use. The Greek Bastion Ballista still has 3 men in the crew. That is all you need to fire the ballista. So, that ballista is still live. You can see a couple units in the background. You got some thorax swords from Massilia and Macedon. Macedon is... oh, man. You know what? Macedon kind of pisses me off, because Macedon is such a cool faction that is just really hard to use. It's so high tier, it's so top heavy is the way what I like to call it. So for Macedon, all you have for infantry is you've got, for like sword infantry, you have your Royal Peltist as your top tier. You have thorax swords, but then it jumps all the way down to a mercenary Thracian warrior, which Thracian warriors can be a bit tough. They are, low armor and have no real shield value at all. So they don't really fill in that low tier unit that you need for Macedon. If Macedon had a like 350, 400 gold sword unit, they would be a really, really legit faction. They've got everything else you need. They've got good archers. They have good pikes. They just need a little bit on the low end of their infantry, and they could be, honestly, a really fun faction. And I really think that's one thing that just holds them back. The Sarissa Cav I don't see anymore. Now, interestingly, he's got his, like, Syrian archers really wide open here. Like, you can see he does have a Thorax. He's got a Thuros here. And then he's got a Royal Peltis. He could be, honestly, maybe trying to use them as bait to, if they were to get in, Pila from either side would probably kill whatever Cav unit tried to sneak through. We've got a little bit of a lull here. Looks like the attackers are just not quite comfortable in pushing forward yet. Typically, you see a left-hand push a little bit later in the game once progress has been made through this area here. Typically, after the attackers have gained this plaza, then they begin pushing tortoises and towers up to this wall. But you don't usually do it yet, because you're not going to be attacking here soon. Typically, early on, an attack into this spot is pretty much just asking for death. So if you go in and just break down walls and such, all you're really doing is allowing the defenders another avenue of sneaking out and being annoying, right? Which is, it's annoying, right? Right now, they don't really have that choice. The only way they have out of the gate is the gate right here, which is an easy thing to deal with. Here we go, though. Now we got a little bit of an attack coming. We've got some Celtic Warriors and Thorax Swords coming in. They're taking on the Sword Band. Sword Band has taken a little bit of a beating, 108 out of 160. Got a Thorax from Seleucid backing it up, though. Back it up! Cheer, you miserable lot! Very British-sounding Seleucid units. I don't know what this guy's doing all the way back here, though. Oh, shit, they're moving! Guys, wait up! Hold on! Sword Band engaging over here. I don't think they have well, maybe they have destroyed the Colosseum. Shame. Yeah, I think they did. I wonder if the defenders maybe even destroyed the Colosseum. Sometimes you'll see that happen where the defenders will destroy it themselves, so then they don't have to worry about it, and then they can fully just set their defenses up right on top of that Colosseum. Otherwise, you have to be really careful, because if the attackers destroy it while your defenses are set up next to it, they'll kill a ton of your units. Zoom in here, get some cool shots here. Get the Sword Band charging in. A little bit of a... It's like they're trying to draw them into a little bit of a trap here. See, there was another Thorax Sword sitting there waiting for him. Look at this guy. He's like standing on the broken down little hutch thing. Some cool screenshots there. So far, nothing really going on the other sides, though. See, it looks like they are putting their primary focus here. Doesn't look like they're that interested in this yet. I assume that's going to be a later attack. And as of right now, same thing. Nothing here. So right now, it looks like the initial assault is going to be down that alleyway. Seems like they're kind of switching around the attack strategy. Instead of, pushing down this way and gaining a foothold here, they're really pushing that middle really quick and early. Royal Peltis General from Macedon. Royal Peltis, a really good unit. Sarissa Cav still sitting over here. Just a-waiting. With their long Sarissas. That's what this lance is. It's the same thing that pikemen use. Now Macedon, look at that. He actually pulled out of that situation. Interestingly, Colchis shooting, taking shots. It looks like he might be getting some sword side shots on this Thorax Sword. No kills yet, though. Eastern Archers, 150 range, 35 missile damage. Sorry about that, taking a drink real quick. What is... Yeah, I mean, So he's taken 3, but really, I think I've seen him take 3 volleys, and he's only taken down 3 guys. I'm just wondering if maybe it's just not a good enough angle for him. Syrian archers of Seleucid now moving in. Nabatean heavy archers moving up towards the front. And look at this. They are pushing forward and breaking the walls now. So maybe we're going to see a little bit of an earlier assault on the left-hand side here. Earlier than expected. Syrian archers trying to duke it out. They will beat the Eastern. Eastern archers only have 10 armor. Unfortunately, I didn't catch how many men they had left in that. Syrians still have 110 men, but they've got 40 armor, while the Eastern archers have 10 armor. And 112, so he lost 8 men. Now over here, we've got Celtic slingers on the wall from Massilia. Looks like they are duking it out with Nabatean heavy archer. Nabatean heavy archer trying to basically walk him off the wall. You know, you get in this kind of side angle. It gives you a really good angle down the main body of the unit, allowing you to get pretty good kills. And also, because of where the wall broke, the Celtic slinger doesn't have the greatest angle to put his full bearing of his slingers onto that archer. So in all reality, it was like a quarter of the slinger was fighting the full archer. Doesn't really work that well. Sarissakav moved forward, but either thought better of it or is just trying to poke and prod maybe. Could be just trying to use that cab to make Seleucid, you know, pay attention to him and, you know, hey, look at me, I'm still here. Hey, you know, and then as long as Seleucid has to keep looking for him, then that's more stuff that Seleucid has to do. You know, it means he's less concentrated on the main battle. Got some hillmen and some regular axemen. Biggest difference between axemen and Carly axemen is the axemen don't get shield wall while Carly axemen do. And I believe there are some other differences, but let's see, Carly axemen 43, 36. So Carly axemen are honestly just kind of better. 26, same. Yeah, it looks like Carly axemen are just, you know, just a slightly better version. And they also get shield wall. Armor 75. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Or not pretty much the same thing, but just a little bit better. Eastern archers keep kind of playing peekaboo here. They keep moving forward. It doesn't even look like they're moving forward and shooting. They're just kind of peeking up and then run away. Peeking up. It could be they might be trying to bait shots from the Syrian archers. You can see we got the mercenary Gallic hunters. I think that's what was shooting at them. No, it's these Celtic slingers. Yeah, I think it was the Celtic slinger, but look at that. Now you got the Britain slingers from Iceni shooting through the breach and pushing the Celtic slingers out. The Massilia ballista is still alive. Might be out of ammo, though, possibly. I wonder if Macedon... I think they've got ammo, man. I think they're holding on to it. And I think we're about to get Nabatea coming through the breach now. Got some armored desert hoplites sitting at the breach, waiting to go in. Sorry about that. Get myself a drink. All this talking makes you real parched like. Yeah, they're literally... So this is kind of a tactic you see a lot in these more experienced tourney players, is a lot of back and forth with their archers. Their archers don't typically stand in one spot, you know, getting into real heavy archer duels for long periods of time. Typically you see a lot of like trying to juke and move around and move their archers and move forward, shoot, run away, move forward, shoot, run away, stuff like that. You know, it tends to kind of help keep your archer a little healthier. You know, It means that the enemy archers aren't getting clear, even shots onto your unit, and also waste their ammo. So, you know, if they're using all that ammo with not getting the real value of kills as they should be getting, then that's a win-win for you. See, there they go. Eastern archers move forward, get the Syrians take a shot. Eastern archers, by the time that volley even came in, those Eastern archers were already on the way out. It really only works on those big, heavy, arcing shots, because those are the ones where there's that real lag of time between, you know, when the arrow is shot and you see it, and when the arrow actually lands after your unit has moved. When you have shots that are really just kind of straight on, that's where you really, it's not really that easy to juke like that. Sarissa Cav's moving. Are they going to try and walk in and get this giant ballista crew? Thorax turned around. Javi, ouch. 10 armor on the Sarissa Cav. And they're caught. Oh my god, 29 men lost. Is that from that one volley? You're kidding me. Now, you must... When did he lose other men? I don't see any other dead cavalry other than right there. But that didn't look like 29. It could be, I guess. There we go. Cretans now moving up. Are they getting them from both sides? I don't think so. I was curious if this Cretan was, you know, shooting and this Cretan was shooting from here, but it doesn't look like it. Basilia seems to be peeling back bit by bit from this area. So far, he has kept himself within the boundary, or I guess outside the boundaries, keeping Nabatea outside of the capture area for the gate. That means that they're getting free firepower here. But it doesn't look like they plan on holding real hard here. Cretans shooting again. But I think that's the Syrians shooting back. Aim low, you bastards. Aim low. Why aim low? 0 kills, 10 kills. Still a little early. Here's some artillery coming in. Is that Nabatea? Yeah. 80 kills on Nabatea's artillery. I didn't realize they'd been shooting long enough to get 80 kills. Now we're getting into the thick of the fight here. Left-hand side, we've got Iceni. We've got Nabatea. Looks like basically just the two of them coming in. And Massilia really kind of taking the brunt of this defense over here all by himself. Got the gates opening as units run away. Yeah, this is really interesting. You almost never see the full attack come here first. And really the reason for that is because there's no real way to get very good angles on this position. You can see that they have gotten some angles from here, but that's about it. You can't get anything from over here. So it's basically a full frontal attack on this position. And usually that kind of attack favors the defenders because that means they can fully focus all of their attention into one spot. And it's mano a mano, you know what I mean? Your numbers as the attacker are nullified because you are going into one spot like this. Or more, you know, they're dampened, I guess is better word to say than nullified, because they aren't, it's not like you just all of a sudden your numbers mean nothing. It just makes it a fairer fight for the defenders. And that's why you typically see more of an attack onto these areas first. Mostly because by that point you have a lot better arch positions typically than the defenders do, and the defending units are all clumped back here so bad that artillery can just get god-awful hits on you. Right now, Nabatea 155. Seleucid's only at 4, but I think he's saving ammo. And I think those are the only two. I don't think Iceni brought one. A lot of javelins coming from Massilia. You can see that basically what they're doing is they're having, you know, the one unit hold down with this from one angle while the other unit jabbies from the other, and then obviously vice versa. Got some Massilian Thorough Spears here as well. Basically just a slightly better Thorough Spear. Celtic Warriors starting to break, or not break, but they're getting a little lower on morale. Sword Band wavering. I thought I saw a pike, but I guess not. A lot of Armored Desert Hoplites, though, from Nabatea. A lot of back and forth jabbies coming over here. Got Macedon and Seleucid just staring down at each other. Very similar factions. Seleucid, in a way, is basically just a more expanded version of Macedon. A lot of very similar units, but a bit more of them, I would say. Cretan archers moving up from Macedon as well. I'm not sure that there's anything for them quite to shoot yet. I guess they've got a pretty good angle on the Armored Desert Hoplites there. Oh, and then you got the Thorough Spears from Macedon up on the wall, too. That's nasty. Doody, doody, doody. Nabatea moving his archers up. I don't know if he's trying to... Well, Seleucid's shooting into the Cretans now. 87. 110 on the Gallic Hunters here from Massilia. This Cretan is outmatched, though. He's got 3 archers, or at least 2. 2 archers on him. No, 3, 4. Yeah, that Cretan was in a bad spot. He did not like that at all. I think they were maybe trying to bring some Nabatean heavy archers around the flank. I'm not sure if they just decided it wasn't worth it or it was too risky, but they did stop that. Here we go. Massilia turned his artillery around. He's at 38 kills now. Right now, things are a bit scattered, so he doesn't really have the greatest shots at the moment. But interestingly, I think he's actually shooting back here, which I find interesting because there's some pretty good clumps of units right here. Very interesting. Seleucid now bringing units over this way. Wow. Formation move. Oh, yeah? How the Armored Desert Hoplites doing? 43. This is a Nabatean swordsman. At least it's not a noble swordsman. Shitty unit. We're not getting into it. We're not getting into it. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. You can't make me. I don't care what you say. Just for that, somebody's going to put in the comments, I think Nabatean noble swordsmen are the greatest unit ever. Just to mess with me. You know it's going to happen. This area over here, though, is an absolute mosh pit. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. There's really no rhyme or reason to the... Well, there is a rhyme or reason, but there's no real... I mean, the line is all over the place. You can see the defenders... Honestly, defenders and attackers doing really good jobs of getting the javelins in, trying to use their archers effectively. Nabatean heavy archers, what was that, 73 that I just saw? Yeah, look at that, 73 kills. Then 33, Britain Slinger's not quite really anything yet. Syrians got 1. doing real well. 72 kills, 9 kills. Really just kind of a hectic archer duel here between the two sides. Gallic Hunter's at 42, so they're doing pretty solid. 37. This one completely untouched. Look at that Cretan 83. Oh, damn. Look at that. 173 on a Mercenary Gallic Hunter. And I bet you, and he still has ammo too. I bet you it is coming from just laying into this mosh pit over here. Looks like they are gaining a pretty solid foothold. And I think they might be able to start trying to turn this line here soon. Thorax here with 138 men, 56 kills. Celtic Slinger's just slinging away. The Massilian General is on the wall. Massilian Cab, by the way. Makes me wonder where his horse... Oh, right here. I was going to say, where are his horses? There they are. Hope they don't get scared away and you get screwed out of, you know, your cab gen. Then you'll just have a spear gen that's not very good. Getting a bit of breaking here from the defenders. Well, they might be solidifying. At Thorough Spirit, 70 men was starting to waver. Uh-oh. Got Chosen Sword Band kind of sneaking along. Kind of getting into the Macedonian General. Macedonian General does still have ammunition, so that's good for him. They definitely need that. Macedon in the center actually kind of counterattacking here a little bit. You know, multiple Thorax swords pushing back against the Thorax swords of Seleucid. Gaining a little bit of ground back, but I think they just need to be careful that they don't overextend and allow the attackers a really easy opportunity here. They just need to be careful. Be very careful. Right now, lately, I've been on to the Mountain Dew Spark kick, which is like a raspberry lemonade Mountain Dew. And it's pretty fantastic because you don't even feel like you're drinking pop. You feel like you're just drinking raspberry lemonade. And you know what? It's good. It's pretty good. I miss the days when Mountain Dew did their like challenge thing where they would put out a couple flavors of Mountain Dew and you would vote on which one you liked the best and whatever one would become the official new flavor. I miss that. Miss the good old days. The defenders earlier looked like they were going to lose this relatively easily. But it looks like that they responded very quickly to the needs of this area because they have really been able to hold back this assault really well. It does look like they are about to lose it possibly, but they have definitely forced the attackers to pay for it. A lot of death just in this area. So the defender's doing a really good job of holding that. This area here you can see has really gone back and forth the whole game. You got dead bodies here, you got dead bodies here. So you could see that cat and mouse play that's been going on between these two teams. It looks like they have abandoned this. They're not really that committed to this, but they are all in on this spot here. Like I said, I think that's kind of fun because that's a strategy on Alexandria that you don't see very often. So it is kind of cool to see a little bit of a different play come out here. Is Macedon trying to get his archers like over on the wall to shoot, or not exactly sure, but he's got an archer unit right up there, just a standard 125 archer. Here comes more units from the defenders. Bounce power is even. It could very possibly be just a hair bit in the defender's favor, but if it is, it's by a hair's length. Get some cinematic views here. You can see the Chosen Sword band and the Thorax swords going up again, going at it here. Is this a little bit of a counter push over here, it looks like? That could be tough because if they got through and snuck through that, there's a lot of squishy stuff back here. There are a couple units, though. Got a bunch of heroic nobles from Mycenae, so doubt that they would be able to get through to the archers back there, but Sarissa Cav coming around and being a nuisance. It's got 11 kills. 166 on the Nabatea and Ballista. Seleucid still hasn't used his, or very sparingly. Nabatea Noble Cav Jin maybe going to try and cut off the Sarissa Cav. It's coming this way because that Sarissa Cav in the end can't go anywhere over here. The only way out is over here. So I wonder if the Nabatea Noble Cav Jin is kind of setting up in a way to maybe try and screen him or keep him bottled up. Time will only tell. Look at the center. The defenders really pushing through. Not pushing through, but pushing into that line. Look how that line has now turned out. Very interesting. Defenders definitely... Oh, man. Such a tough thing. This battle is really close. Just really good gameplay on either side. Both teams playing very, very well. Kolk is actually getting a little ballsy and deciding to take a little bit of a push here on the far left. But you can see he actually pulls away, which sucks because he actually leaves one of his units engaged all by himself. So it looks like they're going to go here, and the Nabatea Noble Cav is going to hit the back of that unit. Poor guys didn't get out of there. They didn't have the Rohirrim guy from Two Towers. Get your man out of there! It is what it is. Life goes on. The defenders do seem to be gaining the upper hand here. The attackers definitely can pull it back. But you can see that the bounce power has shifted a little further in the defenders' favor. It seems to me like they, in the end, have just been getting slightly better results from their javelin fire and things of the such, where the attackers, unfortunately, because they are the aggressors, they don't have really the time to kind of sit and like decide how and when to javvy and stuff like that, because sometimes you just don't have the time. Sometimes you are, you know what I mean, the game is just boom, 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 do this, do now, do that, do that. So, and on the attacker, it's even harsher just because you have to be moving. You have to bring the fight to them. The defenders don't have to do anything. They just have to stand there. $119 now on one of the other Gallic Hunters. I don't see the Cretans anymore. Got Eastern Archers up here now. A couple more in the back. So you got one Cretan, two Cretan. Yeah, nothing so far. They are shooting at the Briton Slingers, though. The Briton Slingers shooting up over the heads of the line in front of them, hitting Masacely there behind. Look at the Nabatean heavies. 182 kills. 83. Where's the rest of... There you are. This one only has 3 kills. 80 men left. They better hold on to that one because that's a lot of ammo. Lot of ammo. Kind of archer right there. Where'd the Nabatean noble cav go? Okay, he's over here. Basically doing a sandwich maneuver here. Got thorax, and then you've got the Nabatean noble cav hammer and anvil from behind. But the Eastern archers definitely saw that and said, we're going to kill him. So they are definitely trying to focus down the Nabatean general. Heroic Nobles, interesting, they have not entered the fight. I assume that they're just trying to wait till the enemy has used as many of their javelins as humanly possible. But you can see the Heroic Nobles have their own javelins of their own. That was a redundant thing to say. Their own javelins. But they may be out now and might be going in. Still got a bunch of thorax swords from Seleucid and Macedon. Thanks from Massilia. There's a lot of thorax swords on the field today, guys. Archer's still going. 75 kills on this bad boy. Kolka seems to be kind of shifting his attention here. He doesn't need much to defend this area, so he's moving troops over to support this fight and to support this fight. Which is good for the defenders, bad for the attackers, because the attackers are already having a rough time. Man, those thorough spears with all that Pila, just a nightmare. They're going to throw another one. Yep, there it is. See him coming in. Ow. Man, that would hurt so bad getting hit by one of them. I would say no thank you. No siree. Oh, there we go. There's Seleucid's artillery. It's alive! He's shooting right down the row of these axes. Well, I guess row, there's only one unit there. There were 2, but now it's down to 1. Nothing outside anymore. Yeah, it's crazy seeing, you know, seems like these units have been trying to break just left and right. So much so they're sending the archers in, trying to beef up the front. They might have missed a little bit of an opportunity of getting a couple units through a gap there. There's also a gap here. The only thing they would have to really be worried about is if they came here, then the thorax sword would have free play there. Cretan archers here would be able to shoot right into him as well. Uh-oh, Nabatea is starting to break. That's not good. Nabatea does not have the greatest morale. And is Nabatea's general dead? I think he might be. Not sure where he died, though. He was inside and he was doing relatively well. I don't see that cav unit anywhere. Yeah, I don't know where it went. Alrighty then. I guess they just disappeared. Just kind of looking around the battlefield here. 258 on the thorax swords. Doing really well there. 37 men left, it looked like. But you could see that, once again, getting pinned and then hit. Look at this. Wow, look at all the ground they regained. Oh my gosh. Not only that, they're also circling around. And they're pushing stuff out the breach. This one thorax sword I don't think is going to hold if they send enough out there. Oh, man. I think it's safe to call this as a attack or defender victory. Pulling this one out by the skin of their teeth. Just looking at the time, looking at the pounds power kills thing, I'm gonna say that this has got to be done. Yeah, I think this is it. Just a couple of remaining units left. Got thorax sword way back in the back. You got the artillery. Got a thorax here. A thorough spear. But I think that's it. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some breaking and an army losses possibly. I guess technically they could have conceded. It was not a full 60-minute replay. All right, starting off for the defenders, we've got Biblical Basher as Nabatea, 1629. For the most part, his archers did pretty well, 176, 210. Nabatean Noble Hoplites, honestly, were basically just tanks. They were there to force their way into the city so that the killers could get in. Seleucid, being commanded by Pedro Sor, 1,540. Archers, they did okay. Thorax got a couple over 200, 259, 216. Pretty solid there. Kirky, as I seen, he was 1,798, leading the attackers here. Or defenders. Right? Yeah, it's attackers. We've got Heroic Nobles. They definitely would hope to see a little bit better. Only a couple slingers here. Chosen Sword Band, a couple of them did pretty solid. 226 on an ambusher. Now for the defenders, we have Fight Me as Massilia with 2,099 kills, leading the entire game. General didn't get anything. Two archers did really well. 100 kills, 146, 130, 153, 211 on the thorax sword. We got Colchis with 1,552 kills. Archers, they did okay. And his infantry, they did the same thing. They did okay. And then finally, we've got JJJ as Macedon, 1,833 kills. 156 on the Royal Peltis. Got a bunch of archers or a bunch of kills between the archers, 126, 113. 207 on a thorax sword. Pretty solid. Well, that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.